Hey folks, good morning here. Just getting ready to go head out and about here, take care of some business here. But I love this weather that we're actually having here. Let me see here. Hold on just a minute. Take a look at this weather that we're having. I love nice and gloomy days like this. I've always loved it. Look at that. Just I love it, love it. Disregard that still pod storage thing. They're still working on my house, so I still have some things in storage. But anyway, I just love, nice gloomy days like this. The clouds in the sky kind of a little overcast, not too hot, not too cold. This is perfect weather. Oh, I guess I'm having to kind of turn things down a little bit here because I don't want, to get in trouble with playing somebody else's music, I guess. I don't know. But I'm getting ready to kind of head out and about to kind of just run some errands here for the most part here. But I actually wanted to talk to you guys about, something that was, I guess, kind of, some kind of things that I just kind of paid attention to, I guess, recently, and basically I didn't want to actually speak on it. I mean, this is a type of behavior that I've been seeing quite some time, but I didn't want to speak on it until the appropriate time. So I guess since I'm running some errands, we'll go ahead and talk about it right now. One of the main things that we have to be careful of whenever we're dealing with people, one thing I'll say this before I say anything else. You have to be careful at how you handle broken people. Okay? I know that's kind of strange to say, but you really do. I mean, think about it. You really have to be careful with how you handle broken people, because people that have been broken for whatever reason, they have like an insecurity about them that is so big till it's like there's nothing that you can do to really make them feel good or to make them feel worthy. It's like the insecurity is just so big till it's like nothing else really matters, basically, and with insecure people, they don't really see things for what they really are or actually accept things for what it is, even if it is, right there, smack dab in their face. And basically, we as black folk are broken people. It's like we will do and say anything just to kind of make ourselves look good, kind of make ourselves stand out. It's like we'll do and say anything just to really, put on this like facade that we got it going on, even though we know we have a whole bunch of issues that we have to kind of handle, away from everybody else. And it's sad because basically it does a number on us in our relationships and how we relate to other people. And basically, I already knew that we was a broken people. Hopefully we get better day by day. But I pretty much knew that we were a broken people for the most part when we actually, when the new administration came in, as far as when they were sworn in with the presidency and everything, with Biden and his administration, Kamala Harris, and them, they're accepting, and they are doing their thing as far as running the country, And basically, what really kind of, I guess, took me back, if you will, is that black folk are the main folks that's looking for someone to rescue them or to rescue us. You know what I mean? Instead of we actually get out and do for ourselves and really make a way for ourselves with the help of the good Lord, of course, we are always looking for someone to save us instead of us getting up and doing things to help better our community by ourselves. And basically, with this new leadership in position, it basically pretty much sets us out to be weak people, because now we're really looking at President Biden as quote unquote our savior. And really that really bothers me, because that lets me know right there that for the most part, black folks, and I don't believe in stereotypes, like I say, because it is what it is, stereotypes, but for what it's worth, it makes it seem as if, our black community wants other people to do our work for us, and we don't do anything. You know, President Biden came into office with all of these promises and everything, you know, about how he's going to make lives better and how he's going to attack the coronavirus and all of this other type of stuff, you know. But I mean, we have to, of course, give him credit and give him time to formulate strategies to see just how he's going to attack these things, because again, the coronavirus is a big issue, you know. But aside from the coronavirus, you have him making promises about stimulus money, you know, and other little odds and ends and everything like that, you know. And basically, you know, we black folks, of course, are standing right at attention, and of course, as we should be, because for the most part, we really played an integral part in him becoming president. But we're looking at it really, I think, in the wrong way, because we're looking at him as if he's God. He's going to come and save us. And see, my thing about it again is that I had this philosophy even before Biden was actually in office. Whoever wins the election, it doesn't matter, because my source comes from the one above. And the thing about it again is that I wish that black folks and really everybody really understand that President Biden is nothing more than a mere human being. He's subject to error, and basically we're starting to see that he's starting to retract on some of the main issues that he said that he would actually push for with his presidency, you know, when he became president. One of those things was, of course, the minimum wage. You know, oh, it's good to come in, you know, I'm going to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour and all of this other type of stuff. But the fact is that now he's starting to see that, okay, I made this promise, but I think I may have spoken too soon, because now I'm having to tell folks now that they may have to wait a little while for that to happen, if at all. So basically, you know, we're like, okay, well, now what? What do we do? You know, so this is my main thing, is that we as black folks, we become so broken, and basically, and the sad part about it is that it's some of it has to do with our own doing, you know, and again, some of it is, of course, having to do, you know, with societal issues. I mean, things that are really out of our control. But there, you know, even with that being said, there are still some things that we do have control over, you know, and basically we need to stop actually looking for folks to save us, and we need to turn to God rather than man. And basically, that's for the most part, you know, my whole thing is that we need to start really looking towards our Savior as our provider, because basically, you know, man can promise us one thing, but turn around and yank that promise and say, oh, I never said that. It doesn't matter, because basically, again, you know, man is subject to error. Okay, let me actually, I'll continue this in just a minute here. I'm at the bank here. I just need to kind of take care of some business here in the drive-thru. All right, be with you in a minute. Okay, ooh, let me hurry up and get from out of the way here. These people here driving, it is something else. But yeah, like I was saying here, for the most part, you know, we got to stop. We got to get out of that habit of actually looking for someone to help us when we can help ourselves. And one of the main things that I've seen here is where we actually need help in, for the most part, is our finances. You know, you have a lot of other races, you know, that actually do the right thing with their money, and they actually invest and everything. That's not to say that black folks don't do that, but we actually, you know, have a lot of them that actually, whenever they get their hands on money, the first thing that they do is they look at, you know, where can I invest this money where I can get like a return on my investment, where it actually, let's say, you know, earns more money in the form of interest and everything else. Maybe so, you know, they try to get something solid that actually is able to grow. You know what I mean? But we as black folks, the first thing that we want to do is we want to think about how to make someone else envy us. Now, what we got to understand is that from the very nature, if you think about it, we as black folks, we already got it going on. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and the sad part about it is that it's a shame that we don't even see that. We got a whole bunch of other races that actually want to be us. They copy our image, they copy our fashion, our food, our whole lifestyle. Everything about what being black is, other folks are wanting that. But yet still we are looking at the fact that, you know, we look at it and just kind of shun it away. But the main thing about it is that we are very classy people, but the thing about it is that we don't see it. other folks see it, but yet still, and when they see it, they want to emulate it. But for the most part, we don't see it. The main thing what we are interested in is competing against each other in the black community. And to me, that is just the dumbest thing. And again, with our money, it's no different. Basically, we're going out there buying overpriced things, things that we know good and well we can't afford, just so we can put on some sort of an image, for someone else. You know what I mean? To say, hey, oh man, look at him, he's fly, or look at her, she got it going on. She must be balling out of control. And the thing about it again is that you can only go, black folks is the only people that I've seen that do that. They'll go into debt trying to actually prove a point to somebody. And basically, again, when you get older and really begin to see things for what it's worth, you're not going to really pay attention for the most part with what other people think of you. With me personally, I'm over that. Like I say, people are going to be people. They're going to talk about you whether you're doing good, bad, or anywhere in between. So I would be doing myself a disservice by trying to live a lie, if you will, trying to tell you one thing, but yet still I'm, struggling in the process. I mean, now let's not get it twisted. I mean, you don't want to go out looking like you don't have anything, like you're broke as a joke and everything like this, but you got to be sensible and reasonable about how you carry yourself. If I know I'm not balling out of control, I'm not going to be walking out my door with a fur coat, $500 pair of sneakers, gold chains and everything, and I got it all, on a credit card that I'm making monthly payments on. That to me it just doesn't make any sense. But for most black folks, they're okay with it. And I'm like, you idiot, you. So God help us, you lose your job or whatever the case may be, and you're unable to make payments, and they come and repossess all that stuff. Then what are you going to say? What lie are you going to have to say to rectify that situation? Again, like I said, we need a lot of help, as far as how we view money and material possessions, because we feel that since we always had to prove ourselves, of course, in white society, that material possessions are who we are, and that's not who we are. That's a lie that someone told, and for the most part, the black community now has grabbed a hold of that lie, and they want to actually live that as the truth, but it's not the truth. Okay, folks, I'm actually on my way to the Commissary here. I might actually let you see, me going the gate and everything here at my local Navy base here, but like I say, that's just a little side piece. But anyway, that's pretty much what it's all about. We have to really be responsible about how we, spend our money. And of course, again, when we are always, again, competing against each other. We're the only race that I've seen that do that. I have never seen any competition in the Asian community, and I've lived around them when I was in Japan. I don't really see much of it in the white community. Again, I live around white folks, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. I don't see one maybe a little in the Latino community, maybe kind of, sort of. Because again, with them, they take a lot after us. You know what I mean? Of course. So basically, in short, what I'm saying is that I have never seen any other race that actually compete against each other like black folks. And the reason why I say that again is because you can go all on Facebook. I mean, and I've been all on Instagram. And all you can see is just folks just flashing material stuff. Black folks. I do not see many white folks on my timeline doing that stuff. All I see is black folks, Latinos, all these other ones that is trying to prove something. And I'm like, what are you trying to prove? We know that you exist. Okay, you work out. Okay, yeah, okay, there's nothing wrong with being confident in your body, but let's not go overboard, because now, we have a lot of issues with that going on, with self-esteem issues, having to strip nearly naked, shake your behind just so you can get a couple of likes and a little hearts and everything on social media, which is something I'm going to touch on in just a few minutes. But we just have to be comfortable with who we are. And if folks can't accept us, then you know what? Screw them. You know what it is? I mean, because the thing about it, the last thing I want to do is actually have to always compete against somebody. That is just tiring, to tell you the truth. It's very tiring, and it really does not prove anything. All you're doing is really putting maximum effort into something that is not going to really pay off in the long run. Because what we got to understand, folks, as we age, beauty fades. I mean, and, you know, we can work out as much as we want, you know, and take as many supplements as we want. But the issue is, at some point, you know, the things that actually have a curve or whatever is going to start to sag a little bit, and, you know, you're going to see a little wrinkle here and there. I mean, but the issue is that, you know, we just have to be comfortable with who we are and what we can, you know, provide and what we can contribute to as far as society goes. Okay, so I'm actually entering the gate, folks. I want you to see this. I love this. I'm right outside the gate, the Navy base right here, if you can see here. Yeah. Like I say, so I'm going to go ahead and enter the gate here. Okay, yeah, I'm in line now, basically waiting to go past the security people here so I can get on the base here. So I'll, you know, stop the camera now, and then I'll start it back up again once I'm on the base. Okay, I made it past the guards here, so I'm basically on the base now. So I'm going to just be going to the commissary here. Just a minute, got to stop here. There's something else here. I've never really done a vlog like this before, but like I say, you know, this is a first time for everything, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this. Everything pretty much is the same here, so let me go ahead and go. Let me get over real quick. Okay. Alrighty. You can sit there and see pretty much the Navy jets and everything. Okay, let me go ahead and turn right here. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you can kind of see that. Look at that. For the most part. Okay, look both ways. Alrighty. And the building that you see to your right there, that is the commissary. So that's one way that I know that I use and save money. I make sure I use my benefits here. For the most part, all of my benefits that I got while I was, you know, in the military, when I got out, I made sure that I was going to take advantage of that. But to the right here, we're going to go ahead and, like I say, see the commissary. We're going to go ahead and find a parking spot, okay? My voice is kind of muffled, but you can kind of see here, because I have this mask on, I'm actually heading to my commissary. So I'll go ahead and, again, go in here, pick up a few things, and then I'll come back out and continue on with my vlog. Okay, I just got back into the car from going into the commissary. I will tell you one thing, I don't care what nobody say. Commissary definitely saves veterans money. That's for sure. There's some things that I'll get from there. You still have to pick and choose pretty much what you're going to get, depending on what it is. But for the most part, on average, I've saved a lot of money going to the commissary and actually handling and doing a little shopping on base too, at the exchange, the Navy exchange, you know, as well as the commissary back there. But yeah, getting back to what I was actually saying here about, you know, being broken in competition and stuff like that. We black folks pretty much, we are the epitome of that, and basically we need to kind of really govern ourselves accordingly to really put things in proper perspective to really determine what's really important. And like I was saying briefly here, when you go on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, all you see is just nothing but competition. Constant scrolling around, you know, people showing skin and doing all types of stuff that does nothing more than really bring shame, you know. But, you know, what would people care these days? Because now it's all about competing, you know, and it doesn't matter what you got to do to make yourself stand out. As long as I can get the most likes and everything, I guess that's all that matters. But I would say maybe out of everybody that suffers the most, I would say out of competition, I would have to really say hands down is the black women. So like I say, I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to be misogynistic. I'm not trying to be all these type of typical things that folks would actually say without really hearing out and really understanding the meaning as to why things are being said. The reason why I say that is because it doesn't matter. You can really take a look at the average black female and actually see that, you know, her self-esteem in the most part, and I'm not speaking of all black women because, again, all black women don't fall into this category, but a good majority of them do. You know, their self-esteem is low because, number one, they really feel that their black man really has abandoned them, you know, to go with women of other races. And basically they're constantly having to prove themselves that they are better and more beautiful than other females, you know. And basically it's having them to, or causing them to do all kind of things that you really wouldn't imagine to get attention. You know, there's a craze that's going on these days, if you will, about, you know, people creating fan pages and having to pay monthly subscriptions in order to view material that they would not normally post on a public forum. And basically, to me, that's just plain pathetic. Because number one, if you got to stoop that low and actually bear all, if you will, in order to get a decent fella to notice you, then that lets me know right there that if you were to get in a relationship, you would be the problem. Because number one, you would have to constantly be reassured that you're good enough, that you are adequate. And basically for today's men, we're not actually out there trying to always boost your self-esteem. You got to come to the table with a high self-image of yourself. You know, yeah, saying that you look good occasionally or whatever, that's just part of a normal relationship. Married people do that. I mean, so, but having to constantly tell someone that they are beautiful and all this other type of stuff, honestly, it gets pretty tiring. And at one point, and at some point, somebody's feelings are going to get hurt, you know. So it's best that you actually come with a good self-image and think highly of yourself, not too highly, but just have a healthy, high regards, you know, for yourself and what you can bring to a relationship. But for the most part, you know, we have, you know, black women, you are more than hips and lips and everything in between. You have to know that. And really, I think that somewhere the message has gotten distorted, or they didn't get the message, because constantly they're having to compete and all this other type, or they feel that they have to compete. In my honest opinion, though, competition is nothing more. It's just for the weak. Because if you're confident in yourself, these cars, if you're confident in yourself, you would not even feel the need to even have that thought enter your mind as far as competing in the first place. You know, and it goes again with the men too. The men, they compete as well. You know, a lot of them feel that they're not adequate and everything. And I'm like, you know, it's all about being happy with yourself. Sure, I may not have the best body, but I guarantee you I don't have the worst body either. I keep myself in shape. You know, I keep myself toned. I got muscles where it's needed. You know, so I'm not in, you know, I don't have any complaints about that. And like I say, not to brag or whatever, but I do get a stare or two every now and then when I go a place or two. So like I say, things like that, you know, it makes you feel good. I mean, that's not to kind of get a bit narcissistic or whatever the case may be, but like I say, you know, you want to, you know, whenever you go out, you get, you know, dressed up or whatever, you know, and you want to have someone to take a second look at you, maybe an eye or two. There's nothing wrong with that. Because like I say, you know, if you think about it, why do you why do you dress up? Why do you put on lipstick? Why do you get your hair done? You know, you don't get it done just to walk outside. You want to catch a few eyes too. Let me run in here. I'm at Winn-Dixie now, so I'm going to go ahead and run in here real quick, and I will be right back. I told you I'm running a whole bunch of errands today. Okay, made it safely back into the car. Okay, so I'm on my way home now, but I'm getting ready to wrap up this vlog. But basically, like I say, you know, we have a whole bunch of things that we need to clean up in our own community here. And basically, like I say, no community is perfect, and I get that, but we really have to examine ourselves to make sure that we're doing all that we can to really do for ourselves, and not always have to have our hands out asking for help. I mean, it's okay, you know, to have help come in every now and then in the midst of you trying, but it's like you're getting to the point now where we're just glad to be substandard people. You know what I mean? And basically, like I say, when you're actually glad to be like that, that's not cool. And that's actually, you know, a reflection on how we as a community have become. But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on and on and on. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog up and talk to you guys very soon, okay?